That would be great. Yeah, so thanks very much, Kerry, and thank you everybody for joining us today. Really an honor to be presenting at this Global Predictions webinar. I've just got 2 slides to show, and then I'm going to give 3 predictions, and I need to give that within 5 minutes, so I'm going to be fairly quick. So the first slide that you're looking at here is the market size and growth, 2025 to 2027, for the estimated global BPO, ITO, and professional and shared services market. And you can see that the global market for BPO, ITO, and professional and shared services was estimated to be about 1.1 trillion in 2024, and it's forecasted to reach almost 1.5 trillion by the end of 2027. And you can see here that we've broken it up into the constituent parts of those various areas, BPO, ITO, and professional and shared services. If you go to the next slide, please, you'll find here that we've covered the regional split of the supply side share of global BPO, ITO, and professional and shared services. So Asia Pacific, no surprises there, still dominates at over 32% of the supply side market for BPO, ITO, and professional and shared services. Important to note that this is consists both of domestic and international outsourced services, both onshore and offshore. So we're looking at the total market here. North America and Europe and the UK follow behind. But there's also interesting growth coming from the LAC region and Africa regions, and we're certainly going to see a lot more fast-growing impact on those regions and capacity building to scale as those regions pick up more global work. So that's it on my slides. So where is this growth coming from? Well, I think we all know that the market right now is in a state of flux, stating that there's a lot of uncertainty right now. We're certainly picking up that the BPO providers in general and are wondering what is happening with a lot of the shifts and changes that is taking place. But we're still seeing that total outsourced services spend is still increasing, just in different ways. It's being driven by specialized and tech-enabled services rather than traditional labor arbitrage models. Traditional outsourcing models are also shifting. So you're seeing the fact that enterprises still will need external partners for agility, for cost optimization, for scalable talent, and for digital transformation. So they're still going to need those third-party outsourcers. We're also seeing a lot more industry specialization and vertical specialization taking place. So there's going to still be growth in the traditional vertical industries of retail, e-commerce, telcos, travel, technology, and utilities, but also new sub-verticals that are coming through, such as health tech, fintech, and edtech, that are also going to experience growth. But what could slow that growth? Well, there's a lot of uncertainty right now about automation and AI, a lot of hype around AI. Is AI going to replace lower value, repetitive BPO roles, shifting job functions rather than eliminating demand? Well, David is going to be talking shortly about that and the emerging trends on the impact of AI. And then we have these geopolitical shifts that are happening and regulatory and compliance pressures. Will there be more restrictions on data privacy, cybersecurity, and offshore outsourcing? Will there be penalties for offshoring? Naresh is going to cover this shortly when he speaks about geopolitical shifts. So now I'm going to make my 3 predictions. My first prediction is over a 2-year horizon. And I believe that we're going to see the convergence of outsourcing service lines taking place. So the BPO and ITO divide is going to blur and fade. BPO providers are already expanding into tech-heavy and digitized services, providing automation, AI, cloud, cybersecurity, and analytics, integrating those into their services. On the flip side, ITO service providers are embedding custom experience and front office expertise to deliver full stack solutions. BPOs that are also CX focused are expanding their service portfolios. They're actually adopting other forms of outsourcing, such as finance and accounting, IT and digital services, legal services, and specialized vertical specific services. So the key shift here is that providers must evolve beyond transaction-based outsourcing to integrated end-to-end business solutions. My second prediction is over a 3 to 5 year horizon. And here I believe we're going to see the evolution of outsourcing and service models. The traditional outsourcing contracts, multi-year FTE-based BPO business models, will undergo transformation. Clients are increasingly going to demand more outcomes-based partnerships, co-sourcing models, and deeper vertical integration. So verticalization is going to intensify. We're also going to see more on-demand subscription-based pay-per-use models that are going to be adopted, such as outsourcing as a service. And while this is happening, there's also a sidebar trend that is taking place, which is that more enterprise buyers, that is, are also going to deploy captive shared services centers, both onshore and offshore. But they won't necessarily fully replace outsourcing, rather complement it. So you can see a lot more co-sourcing taking place. And the key takeaway there is that Outsourcing business service models is going to become more outcomes focused, customized, co-sourced, and value driven, and outsourced and shared services will be blended for flexibility. Our third prediction is a 5-year horizon. And here I believe we're going to see the rise of multi-sourced, multi-shored, hybrid AI human talent pools. I predict that within the next 5 years, there will be a focus on the best, there'll still be the focus on the best nearshore offshore locations that won't go away. But there's also going to be a shift to assembling diverse, multi-sourced, multi-shored talent pools. These pools will consist of hybrid AI and human workers from various locations, strategically assembled for specific projects or enterprise services, based on which pools provide the best types of skills, expertise, and proficiency. This would then reduce reliance on single location dependencies and enhance business continuity. And so some large-scale outsourcing locations may decentralize into smaller, multi-shore, and hyper-local hubs closer to demand markets and/or within distinctive talent pools. So my closing thought is that the outsourcing industry is not just growing, it's evolving. In the next three to 5 years, AI, service convergence, and multi-source talent models will redefine how enterprises scale and how service providers and offshore and nearshore locations adapt and optimize service delivery. Thank you.